Have you ever had a day where you woke up full of energy? Told yourself you were going to crush your goals, but by lunchtime, the spark was gone. You said you'd work out, but you didn't. You said you'd study, but Netflix won. You promised yourself you'd start that project, but you ended up scrolling on your phone for hours. That's motivation for you. Motivation is like a gust of wind, it feels strong when it blows, but it doesn't last. And if you depend on motivation to change your life, you'll always find yourself starting and stopping. Moving forward and falling back. The truth is, the people you admire, the ones who achieve incredible things, aren't relying on motivation. They're relying on something far more powerful, discipline. Discipline is what carries you when motivation disappears. Discipline is what shows up when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what wins when motivation fades. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Alex. Every January, like clockwork, he set a resolution to get fit. The first week, he was unstoppable, waking up early, hitting the gym, running with excitement. He felt great. But by the third week, his motivation dropped. The mornings felt colder. His muscles ached, and his bed became more appealing than the treadmill. One day, he looked across the street and noticed his neighbor, an older man in his 60s, lacing up his running shoes. This man ran every single morning, rain or shine. Curious, Alex asked him, "How do you stay so motivated to run every day?" The man smiled and said, "I'm not motivated. I'm disciplined." Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. That sentence hit Alex like a lightning bolt. He realized he'd been chasing bursts of energy instead of building the consistency that actually produces results. And that's the difference. Motivation is emotional, it's fleeting, unpredictable, and based on how you feel in the moment. Discipline, on the other hand, is a decision. It doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired, busy, or not in the mood. Discipline is doing the thing regardless of mood. It's brushing your teeth every day even when you don't feel like it. It's going to work even when you'd rather stay home. It's showing up for your commitments because you said you would. Motivation is a wave. Discipline is the ocean. Science actually explains this. Our brains are wired for comfort. We naturally avoid pain and seek pleasure. Motivation tricks us into thinking the excitement of starting something new will be enough to override that wiring. But the brain adapts quickly. What was exciting yesterday becomes normal today. That's why motivation fades. Discipline, however, builds habits. And habits rewire the brain so that actions become automatic. You don't need motivation to brush your teeth. You just do it. Imagine if exercise, studying, creating, saving money, or working on your dream became as automatic as brushing your teeth. That's what discipline does. It takes something you once resisted and makes it part of who you are. Let me give you an example from history. Think about soldiers. Soldiers don't rely on motivation to train, march, or fight. They rely on discipline drilled into them until it becomes second nature. That's why militaries are built on routines, not inspiration. Discipline is stronger than feelings. It doesn't ask, "Do I feel like it?" It says, "This is what needs to be done." And that mindset is the foundation of every great achievement you've ever admired. Michael Jordan didn't become the greatest basketball player because he was motivated every day. He became great because he disciplined himself to practice longer, harder, and more consistently than anyone else. Writers don't finish books because they're motivated. They finish because they sit down to write even when every word feels like pulling teeth. Entrepreneurs don't build companies because they're motivated every morning. They build because they show up when it's boring, when it's hard, when it's lonely. So how do you build discipline? It starts with understanding that discipline is a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. The first step is to lower the barrier. Don't tell yourself you need to run 10 kilometers every morning. Tell yourself you'll put on your running shoes and step outside. Don't commit to writing a novel in a month. Commit to writing 200 words a day. Don't try to overhaul your diet overnight. Commit to eating one healthy meal today. Discipline thrives when you start small. Each small win builds confidence. Each action strengthens the muscle. And over time, what once felt impossible becomes your new normal. Here's something practical you can start today: the 5-minute rule. If there's something you don't want to do, exercise, read, work on a project, commit to doing it for just 5 minutes. That's it. Most of the time, once you start, you'll keep going. But even if you stop after 5 minutes, you've trained your brain to act instead of procrastinate. And that's the seed of discipline. Another powerful method is accountability. Discipline grows when it's not just about you. Tell a friend your goal. Join a group. Share your progress publicly. When others know what you're committed to, you'll feel the pressure to follow through. And that pressure is fuel for discipline. This is why athletes have coaches and why businesses have boards. External accountability strengthens internal discipline. But here's the truth: you will fail sometimes. You will miss workouts, skip days, break routines. And that's okay. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. The disciplined person doesn't quit when they fail. They reset and continue. Motivation says, "I failed, I'll stop." Discipline says, "I failed, I'll begin again tomorrow." That's why discipline always wins. Let's go deeper. Motivation relies on emotion. Discipline relies on identity. Motivation says, "I want to work out." Discipline says, "I am a person who works out." Motivation says, "I want to write." Discipline says, "I am a writer." Identity is stronger than feelings. When you align your actions with who you believe you are, discipline becomes natural. If you see yourself as disciplined, you'll act disciplined. If you see yourself as lazy, you'll act lazy. So the key is to shift identity. Every time you show up, even for a small action, you cast a vote for the identity you want. And over time, those votes shape who you are. Now, let me give you a task. For the next 30 days, I want you to practice building discipline in one area of your life. Just one. Maybe it's exercise. Maybe it's studying. Maybe it's saving money or reading. Choose one. Shrink it down to the smallest possible action. If it's exercise, commit to 5 minutes a day. If it's reading, commit to 2 pages. If it's writing, commit to 100 words. Do it daily for 30 days. No excuses. No breaks. Just show up. At the end of 30 days, you'll notice something powerful: you won't be depending on motivation anymore. You'll be depending on discipline. You'll have built a muscle that makes you stronger in every area of your life. I'll leave you with this. Motivation is a spark. It feels good, but it's temporary. Discipline is the firewood that keeps the flame alive long after the spark is gone. Motivation might get you started, but discipline will take you to the finish line. Motivation is mood-based. Discipline is identity-based. And if you truly want to change your life, stop waiting to feel motivated. Start training yourself to be disciplined. Because when motivation fades, and it always does, discipline is what will carry you through. So tomorrow, when you wake up and you don't feel like doing the thing you know you should, remember this moment. Remember Alex and his neighbor. Remember the old man's words, "I'm not motivated. I'm disciplined." And make that your mantra. Don't ask yourself, "Do I feel like it?" Ask yourself, "What needs to be done?" Then do it. That's discipline. That's freedom. That's how you win. If this message resonated with you, I want you to take on the 30-day discipline challenge. Pick one action, shrink it down, and commit for the next month. And when you do, drop a comment sharing your progress. I'd love to hear how discipline is transforming your life. And if you want more content like this, less hype, more truth, real tools to help you grow, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because the journey to the life you want isn't about waiting for motivation. It's about building discipline. And I promise, If you master that, there's nothing you can't achieve.